Hello folks, and welcome to an InkDependence.com brief video review and water drop test. This time we have Caran Delicate Green. This is another one of those inks sent to me by the wonderful folks at Anderson Pens. That is Brian and Lisa. Thanks very much for these samples, y'all. Caran has some cool inks. This is probably my least favorite. I think it's just kind of unsatisfying. It actually looks a little bit better here probably than it does on some other papers, lower cost copy papers, that sort of thing. I knew it was going to be a really light ink, as you can see from this swatch here. It's just not a very dark ink. In fact, it actually looks quite a bit darker on my phone now that I'm taping it than it does in real life. It's a bit too light. So I put it in this pen, which puts down a fair amount of ink. This is my Wall Ever Sharp Skyliner 50. It's one of the new ones. And it's got this semi-flex nib here, which does tend to run a bit wet. So I was hoping that it would really make this ink show up well. It doesn't really. It's not for me. It doesn't bleed, feather, or spread. It's fine when it comes to that. If you're looking for sort of an ink for, I don't know, maybe some art project where you need a light green or something of that nature, and this probably is going to work perfectly fine for you. For everyday writing, for me, it's going to be too light. Just a little bit too light. It's not quite saturated enough. Now, if you saturate it, I'd be psyched about it. But anyway, let's see. Here it is compared to a bunch of other things, including another green. This is Faber-Castell's Moss Green. Let me zoom in a little bit. I used to be able to zoom in on video. That's odd. Oh, there we go. Whoa, just didn't want to do it before. All right, there it is. You can see it next to this Moss Green, which is quite a lot darker. You can see next to Skeleton, which is a black. I put the really light ink next to the really dark ink for some reason. But then down here, you've got J. Herbin's Vert Prix. This is pretty close. It's a little bit lighter, maybe. It's in the same color family anyway, those two. If I'd had those two inked up at the same time, that would have been awesome, but I didn't, so I had to put them kind of far from each other. But neither one is particularly dark enough for me. I like them a little bit darker. So let's see how it does with water. I don't expect a whole lot, and I'll show you why here in just a minute. But here we go. This is, oh, I got a little overboard there with the old syringe. Alright, you can kind of see the green swirling off there a little bit. It's kind of nice with the dots and they swirl sideways like that. I like that effect. Alright, let's blot this off and see if there's anything left. Where's the cleanest part of my napkin here? And there we go. Yeah, pretty much entirely gone. You can see there it is on my blotting pad. Oh, goodness. See, that's what happens when you get it on a word. I must have thrown a drop up towards the top there. Yeah, completely gone where the water hit. Even here on the test. Oh, I missed a piece. Syringe got totally out of control. Alright, there we go. Yeah, this is not water resistant in the slightest. In fact, you put a little water on there and it actually forces that through the page. So there you go. That's not great. Now, the reason I thought that it probably wouldn't be sticking around on the page very long is this. I did the chromatography on this guy. And there it is. This here, this strata right here, is where I placed the original drop of ink. Usually I just kind of take the pen and go like this a bit. And it leaves a nice trail of ink. And this one just fled all the way up the page. You do have this really nice bright blue that you can see here up at the top, which is very cool, but nothing down here at the bottom where it started out. So that makes me not hopeful. As soon as I see that sort of thing, I go, aha, this is not going to be water resistant at all. And I was kind of right. So do I recommend Caran Delicate Green? Not really. You're going to have a specialized need for this. You're not going to use it every day. For my uses, it's not going to really work out. But that's fine. That's why you get samples and not entire bottles. So if you want to try a sample of this, even though it's not my favorite ink, go over to AndersonPens.com, grab one of their 3 milliliter samples. That's greater than the 2 you'll find at some other vendors for the very same price, and pick some up for yourself to try out. Lastly, if you like what I do here at InkDependence.com, please do consider going over to patreon.com/InkDependence to see how you can help me out. Patreon.com allows you to make a monthly donation to the cause of ink dependence. Any little bit will help out very much. So thanks, folks, and see you around.